Hello, good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to the regular meeting of the Stillwater Planning Commission for Tuesday, November 6, 2012. With that, item 2 on the agenda is a welcome and introduction of the leadership Stillwater Class 21, which I've been asked, if it's okay with you guys, to move that down into item 5 under miscellaneous items for staff, from staff for discussion of possible action.
Do you need a motion, Chair?
I don't think we do we? Can I change that? Okay. All right. All righty. Thank you. Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and move into land use actions for discussion and possible action. Central Oklahoma United Methodist Retirement Facility Incorporated, PZ.12.1692, Annexation, requesting review and approval to annex a portion of property addressed as 711 Peaceable Acre Road and establishing a zoning designation of RTM, that's a residential two-family and multifamily district. Mr. Coots.
All right. Tom Coots, Development Services. As you stated, this is approximately 15-acre tract. It's located just north of the Peaceable Acres subdivision here in Stillwater on North Washington Street. To put this into perspective, the entire Peaceable Acres property to the south of this area that's hatched to be annexed is under contract to be developed as the Epworth Villas site. They had looked into a different site here in Stillwater, and now looking at this site. So the Peaceable Acres to the south is approximately 40 acres. This again is 15 acres. They'd like it to be. They've petitioned to have it annexed into the city, and you'll notice that Peaceable Acres is currently zoned RTM, which is residential two-family and multifamily, and a portion of this Peaceable Acres is also zoned agricultural. We have received an application. It will be heard at the next Planning Commission meeting, applying to rezone that agriculturally zoned property to the RTM district. And the reason why we're having this meeting at the Planning Commission is to recommend to the City Council which zoning classification this property that's being petitioned to be annexed should be zoned if it's approved to be annexed. And staff is recommending the RTM district because that would be in conformance with everything to the south and with the development that is going to be coming before us here in the next couple weeks. You notice that the property surrounded the north and sort of the west by unincorporated Payne County. And then to the east is RSS, residential, small lot, single family, and then the south, as I stated, was the RTM, residential, two-family, multifamily, and the agriculture district. Air photo, we can see that the surrounding it basically is low-density residential and kind of rural, undeveloped uses. To the east is the Canyons development. It's way in a later phase. Someday will be developed as RSS, small lot, single-family houses up to the east side of this development. Staff findings include the property is immediately adjacent to the existing corporate limits of the City of Stillwater. Notice for the petition annexation has been published as required, and it must be published 2 weeks in the news press, and so that's kind of why we got to hear this meeting separately from the map amendment, and we'll also be hearing an SUP application next time, is because of the 2 week of advertising. Otherwise, this would all just track together, and we'd be hearing it all at the same time. And for the identified future use of the property, RTM is the appropriate zoning designation for this property. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for staff on this? I might just have one, Tom. And I'm assuming that what we're going to see coming before us in the next few weeks, that the RTM zoning is the appropriate zoning. It won't have to have a special use permit or anything.
They will need a special use permit. That's also, they've applied for that. It will be coming to the next Planning Commission meeting. Just to summarize kind of what they're proposing, it's a kind of a senior living type complex. It'd have assisted living, kind of almost nursing home type facilities, and some independent living, which are basically kind of like multifamily, and some single family dwelling units, separated some houses. And in the RTM district, the single-family houses and the assisted living require an SUP.
Okay.
So we will be hearing that in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
I just have one. What, for the RTM zoning, what is the maximum density?
Up to 20 units per acre.
20 units per, okay.
Yes.
Anything else for staff? Thank you, Tom. Okay, at this time, we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in favor of this annexation?
I'm here just to answer any questions if you have any.
If you would, come on up. Please state your name and address for the record, please, sir.
My name is Brian Kuhn. I'm from Oklahoma City. I'm the project engineer for Epworth and was here before you probably 3 or 4 months ago when we were over at the ranch over 19th. But be glad to answer any questions. Again, like Tom said, he did a very good job presenting it. You'll see the plant, you'll see the layout. I've got it here with me tonight if you want to look at it. But in 2 weeks, you'll see the special use permit and the zoning and then this again. So be glad to answer any questions you have.
I don't have any questions, just, I don't know if I'm on a comment. Glad to see you back.
Thank you.
Thanks for your
Good to be back.
tenacity.
You bet. Good to be back.
We
We want to be in
want you to be a
Stillwater.
part of this community.
We want to be in Stillwater, you can tell.
Great. Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of this annexation? Okay, is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to the annexation? Anyone in opposition? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and ask for, I guess maybe I don't know if it's a recommendation or at this point on annexation. What would you call it, Tom?
Yes, recommendation. Basically, we just have one. We'd like to recommend that the City Council approve the proposed annexation and apply a zoning designation of RTM, residential, two-family, and multifamily to that property.
Okay. Any questions, staff? Okay.
I'd
With
say
that, I
so-
guess
so
discussion
moved.
here.
Oh,
Second.
Let's be a little more formal. I'm not a big stickler for that, but yeah, I would like to hear a motion if everyone's ready for that.
so moved. You want me to read it?
Please.
Oh, I got you. You want me a real formal. I got it. I'd make the motion that we recommend that City Council approve the proposed annexation and apply the zoning designation of RTM, which would be residential, two-family, and multifamily.
Second.
Thank you all very much. Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll place our votes, please. Are we good? Okay.
Motion passes 7 in favor.
All right, that's unanimous. Thank you. Moving to the next item. Mary Lou Morris, Revocable Trust, PZ.12.1686, a map amendment, requesting review and approval to rezone property addressed as 6221 and 6523 West 19th Avenue from RSS, residential small lot, single family, and RSS PUD, residential small lot, single family with the planned unit development, to a agriculture district.
Tom Coots again, Development Services. This just so happens to be the property where Epworth Villas was looking into going to. They worked for a long time on this site, but eventually the water and providing water and sewer to the property proved to be unfeasible for their project. The owner of the property, has asked that the property be rezoned back to agricultural because, he has there's a few advantages to that. But basically, since the property isn't planned to be developed in the future, it's currently is zoned RSS and RSS PUD for a assisted living type facility, and that was the plan from about 9 years ago that Epworth Villas was seeking to amend. The property is surrounded to the half of the north, the west, and the south, and the east by unincorporated Payne County, and to the half of the north to RSL, which is residential small lot single family. The air photo, as you can see, the property is pretty much surrounded by rural and low-density residential uses. Staff findings include the proposed agricultural zoning is consistent with the future land use of low-density residential. The agricultural district allows basically for one single-family house per 5 acres, which is very low-density residential. And the current use of the property is consistent with the agricultural zoning, the proposed zoning. And the development of the property as a senior living complex is no longer an option at this time. You have any other questions for me?
Nope. Anybody? Thank you. With that, we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing on this map amendment. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in favor of this map amendment? Again, please state your name and address for me.
Yes, Milton Morris, 3402 Willow Park Lane, Stillwater, 74074. I'm the co-trustee of the Mary Lou Morris Revocable Trust, and I'm here to answer any questions you have.
Are there any questions for Mr. Morris?
I provide my death instructions to say that my ashes will be scattered on that property, so if Stillwater ever does put water there, I'll be there.
Thank you very much,
Good deal.
Mr. Morris. Okay, is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor? Okay, seeing none, is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this map amendment? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and ask for staff's alternative.
Okay. We can accept staff findings and recommend that the City Council approve the proposed map amendment as presented. We can find that additional information and/or discussion is needed prior to making a recommendation, so either continue the consideration to a certain date or table the consideration until the information is available. And that was it.
Thank you, Tom. Discussion?
I think it's just going right back to where it was, so.
I agree.
The cows gotta eat, Dusty.
Yes, they do, Becky, that's for sure.
I'll make a motion if that's,
Yes, sir, please.
that we accept staff findings and recommend that the city council approve the proposed map amendment as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. Okay, please place your votes.
We have one no choice.
Did somebody not vote?
I'm voting the third time.
I've got all my lights all lit up.
Oh, I think it may be yours, Becky. Try it again.
Try it.
There you go.
There.
I'm getting everything wrong this
Okay.
evening. I apologize, Dusty.
That map amendment is approved
Thank you.
unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Dusty wants me to talk more. He wants me to hit the right button.
Sorry, Becky, I know it's a lot of pressure.
It really is.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to approval of a meeting summary for discussion and possible action. First item is the approval of the meeting summary of September 18th, 2012, or as I like to call them, minutes. So, any changes, deletions, additions?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion to second to approve the minutes. Once we get lit up here, we'll vote. All right, please place your votes.
Dusty, do they abstain if they were not at the meeting?
Yeah.
You can if you'd like. It'll still
It didn't.
enough here. Actually, on minutes.
Wait.
Sorry, well, I was not even.
Okay.
Even though you're not present, you can vote yes.
Yes, you can.
You just can't make.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, that is approved with a 5 votes yes and 2 abstentions. We'll move to approval of the meeting summary of October 16th, 2012. Any changes there, commissioners?
I approve we move to approve the minutes.
Second.
As written.
Motion a second to approve the minutes of October 16th, 2012. Please place your votes. And those minutes are approved.
Seven up there going, "Who's seven?"
I tell you, we're ready to move into miscellaneous items from staff for discussion and possible action. And our leadership Stillwater class hasn't made it down yet, so if it's okay with everyone, I'd like to request a 10-minute recess. we'll try to convene back here at about, what would it be, 5:55, in order to let the Stillwater leadership class come in, and they want to be part of this next presentation.
Second.
So, all right. We stand in recess.
We didn't need to move to adjourn.
That's it.
Without objection, the chair can
You're on.
do a recess.
Yeah, Dusty,
Can we
nobody
send word
ever-
upstairs to bring more cheese?
Nobody ever wanted, nobody ever wanted me to talk more. You're my hero.
Maybe if you meander back up there and look at the door out and they'll.
We are on.
Back at the front desk.
Oh, you're, okay.
Until we get some office space redesigned, it didn't make sense because Melissa's only been with us since March.
Why did the attorney's offices move upstairs? Did they need more room down in the attorney's or the city manager's office? Oh, I'm curious.
You gotta go to Lincoln tomorrow?
It just always seemed like the attorney's offices,
When do you leave?
they weren't with the city
The
manager.
more I think about it, the more I think I'll send one of my guys.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want to
We
go.
designed it last night for them to be together. So,
I'd probably leave out of here 4 o'clock in the morning.
you don't, or you, yeah, you can't say. I get it. Yeah. Gotcha.
Hey, you did that for a minute with the man transport. Are you serious? Alrighty, well, you may be holding up the board.
Melissa, you can work for the city manager.
Kind of like a Dina job.
I'm gonna have Cassie help you do that.
It's just a hard position. Our water utility company, electric utility.
Really?
See the impact of the building stuff.
But the water utilities have their own assistants though, right? Like, what's her
But
name?
if you want a water meter,
You. Yeah, because it's tied to a building permit, right?
not necessarily, even
Oh.
if you want a water meter in Corp Creek, you come to me. If you want a water meter in District One, you come to me.
Wow. It's his stuff.
Lots of stuff. And Tom brings us stuff.
Paul is in Darren's old office?
And you know those pods that are right there in front of it, we're looking to remove those and put all the services center up there, so it's not right next to the city attorney's office, because we basically become the receptionist for
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. That would be confusing.
And it gets fired.
So where are you're not in one of those offices then? Where'd you move?
Back there, everybody's back there, everybody's back there, except Cody. Yeah, Cody's the officer side.
get cheesecake, I think.
She had to re-park her mobile home out there.
Looking for some gravel.
Oh, out there smoking.
Couldn't find a parking spot.
I was moving out there on that gravel piece back behind the building. I called a renter that owes me money. They didn't answer.
I don't know why that would be.
This all of us? You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, are we ready upstairs? Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting back to order after our short recess. I would, at this point, like to welcome and introduce the leadership Stillwater Class 21 that's in our audience now. For someone who would like to come up and say a few words, we'd love for you to.
Not everybody at once.
Yeah. We don't. That's great. All right, good job. Didn't mean to put you all on the spot there, but okay, we'll go ahead and move into miscellaneous items from staff for discussion and possible action. Up first, have Patty Evans on an update on the comprehensive plan.
Okay. Good evening, Patty Evans, Development Services. Yes, I wanted to give you a update on the Comprehensive Plan 2030. Hopefully we're getting close to finishing it. As you know, or most of you know, the current comp plan was adopted in 2001. A lot of growth and changes have happened here in Stillwater in those 11 years, so it really does need to be updated. Usually communities like to do their updating on their comp plans every 5 to 10 years. We've kind of set a goal for every 5 years. Hopefully we can meet that. The members, these are the members of our comp plan committee. There's 14 members that have helped us. We started the update in August 2010. It has been a while. So some of our members have moved away, other obligations have gotten in the way, and many of our members have kind of dropped off, but we still have some faithful few that are helping us. One reason we this has taken so long is we kind of got sidetracked when our planner left and staff had to kind of take over his position. This one kind of got put back. And then there were some other priorities like the corridor redevelopment plan, text amendments, all kinds of stuff. So it's been a while since we've been able to work on this. Thankfully, Tom has taken a lot of responsibility, so I can get back to the comp plan. There are 10 chapters in the comp plan, 8 chapters. These are the 8 chapters that have been reviewed by the committee: the introduction, goals and guiding principles, community profile, population, housing and employment, infrastructure, environmental planning and conservation, rehabilitation and redevelopment, and areas of special concern. The 2 chapters that have not been reviewed by the committee is the land use chapter. That draft is completed and ready to go to the committee for review. And then the Parks and Rec, that draft is not completed. We are waiting on information updated information from the Parks and Rec department. This is the current land use map. The black dashed line, which is kind of right around this area, that is the city limits. The red dashed area outlines the area that we are going to cover in this update. The colors are the land uses, and that's what is the current land use. And so you can see we are going outside the current land area or land use area to cover a little bit more area. That will be covering some of the southwest water issue. So we want to go ahead and get those land uses put in there. Like I said, we are back on track with a schedule for completion. We are trying to get 2 communities. After we get the draft done, we'll have 2 community meetings. With the holidays, that's probably going to be a little difficult, so we're trying to push those back till January. And then we are hoping to get the draft to this body sometime in February for recommendations, changes, thoughts, anything, and then getting it to the City Council for adoption. Are there any questions about it?
Any questions for Patty on this? Well, I might just say that I appreciate you and the committee's hard work on putting this together. It's a daunting task, and it's a tough job. We do truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd reiterate those same things and just remember just one more chapter. That's what I got out of the presentation.
Yeah, one more chapter. Okay.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
Okay, next item, we'll ask Tom Cooch to come up and give us an update on the commercial projects.
Tom Coots, Development Services. This is an update on the recent commercial projects that happened in Stillwater from November 2009 to November 2012. 2009 was the last time this type of presentation was done for the Planning Commission. So wanted to kind of highlight some of the there's been many projects in Stillwater since November of 2009. Wanted to kind of highlight some of the more major developments and redevelopments in the city. Didn't want to talk about some of the minor or even major additions to existing buildings and projects, and or just remodels of existing projects, but complete redevelopments. For this, took and divided the city into 3 areas: the north area, which is basically north of McElroy; south area, south of McElroy, except for the central area, which is undefined area in the center of the city where there's a conglomeration of many projects, so we could kind of separate that out and be able to see what we're talking about. There's actually, in this project, you can see the little red dots all over the city. There are 50 projects that we kind of decided were major developments and redevelopments. This north area, got some of them highlighted. The Wings of Hope was a complete development of the property. The Links will be coming in sometime soon. They recently received approval for phase 3 of the Links. Aspen Heights, they have applied for a building permit. They will be developing that site very soon. Lakeview Point had a number of restaurants and stores come in. Olive Garden, Tuesday mornings, Da Vinci's Italian Restaurant, Blue Spruce and Panda Express is under construction now. Cavender's Boot City just recently opened. Oak Creek Community recently opened or will be soon opening. OSU Transit Services developed a compressed natural gas station. Albawandi Mediterranean Cuisine was a remodel of a property. Will Rogers School is kind of under construction. Freddy's Frozen Custard is a redevelopment of a property. Taco Bell is a new property. The south area, Pizza West is new. Primrose Communities is working toward a building permit. Stillwater Golf and Country Club, they did an addition onto their clubhouse. 51 at Trading Heights was finished up over the summer. The Oak Tree Children's Academy is a relatively new project. Bear Chiropractic, the Stillwater Visitors Bureau is a remodel of an existing building. The Enclave at Copper Creek is a new apartment project. They're building it in phases. They're still working on some of the phases, but some of the phases are done. Stillwater Medical Center has started the grading on their new big project on 12th Avenue. The Vintage apartment complex on Jardot was finished up, and the Highland Park Elementary School is also under construction. In the central area, as you can see, we have a lot of projects that happen in the central area of Stillwater. Bradford Plaza had several Joann's, TJ Maxx, and Ulta Beauty Supply go in. Jack in the Box was finished over the summer. CVS Pharmacy just opened last weekend. Schlotzsky's, I think they just opened last week. Cake Crazy is a bakery on Main Street. Sultan's International Foods, Cheesy's, and Jimmy John's, and some of the new restaurants there in that area. The Farmhouse Fraternity just opened, just finished up beginning of the school year. Blakely Street Commons is a unique duplex type, condo type development on Blakely Street. A Marble Slab Creamery went in. A Cruisin' Burger on Washington. And then you'll notice the Elm Street Apartments, they received a PUD approval for that location, kind of a similar to Stillwater Flats type project. The 315 South Hester Street Apartments, similar type, they've actually started building on that project. And then downtown, many restaurants have come in, many projects downtown. We got Boomerangs, Frosted Bakery, Brooklyn's, Ibiza Bar, Finnegan's Bar, and Granny's Kitchen. Family Dog, I believe, just opened yesterday, I think. Main Street Noodle will be opening very soon. So anyway, that's it. Just to bring you up to speed as to I don't know how many projects there have been in Stillwater in the last couple of years, and we've got quite a few coming up still, and things are under construction. Things are finishing up all the time. And any questions for me?
I don't have any questions, but I think I think we should be proud of Stillwater, even in kind of what would be a down economic time for most of the nation. It seems that we're growing, and I think that's something all of us should be very, very proud and thankful for.
I'd just say, Tom, you had your hand in that cookie jar, every single one that you mentioned, so thank you for doing your job and doing it obviously well. And
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to sit up here and see it. We have our hands on some of this, but by right, we don't ever get to see it, and people will ask me, and if it doesn't come in front of this body, I really am unaware of it. We don't get much publicized on it until we see the neon lights go up. So I enjoyed these presentations. I think you did a great job, and I appreciate the information.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Next item on the agenda is our 2013 meeting schedule. Commissioners, have you had a chance to look those dates over, and does anyone have any problem with any of them?
Dusty, I thought there were a lot of them on there. I didn't know if we could take like half of them off.
Yeah, probably not so much, Becky.
You never let me change them, but you're always so kind to ask.
Good idea, but I don't think it'll probably happen. Anybody, any changes, anything that we need to look at? I guess with that, we would need a motion to approve.
I move we approve the 2013 meeting schedule as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion a second to approve the meeting schedule for 2013 as presented. Please place your votes. Okay, that is unanimous with all 7 votes yes. Another announcement, the next Planning Commission meeting is November 20th, 2012. Love to see each and every one of you here, or if not, you can watch us on pretty good television now.
It is
You can
now.
actually
We're kind
see
of
it.
big heads.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. And again, appreciate you guys all coming out tonight. The Leadership Stillwater Class 21, which you can yell and cheer if you'd like. But anyway, thanks again. And also, quick announcement, there's still a little bit less than an hour left. If anyone would like to go out and exercise their right to vote tonight. Would sure encourage that for everyone that hasn't had a chance to today. With that, Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Please place your votes. And we are adjourned.